Hello, my name is Meldra and I am one of the music leaders on a Wavelength project run by Quench Arts. So I'd love to talk more about lyric writing. Very often we might start the session and chat about whether we start with music or lyrics, but once we've decided and let's say we go ahead with lyrics, we can zoom in more to the lyric subject. Now, generally speaking, we might write about ourselves and our own experiences. We could look through somebody else's experiences and try and understand how somebody might feel in a certain experience. Or we can write a completely fictional story. And again, depending on the session and people at the session, it will really vary every single time. We could think of some helpful additional methods, such as using a visual as a starting point, using a title as a starting point for just sharing and exchanging ideas. Now, when it comes to running the session, I would say that the actual writing process could be run in various ways. Very often we might find ourselves in a circle, sitting all together and discussing various ideas and expressing opinions. Now, there might be times when somebody isn't brave enough to share in front of everybody. For that kind of situation, I would think that one of the best things to do is to split up the large group into smaller clusters and, let's say, 10-15 minutes work on separate little tasks, where those that might not feel that comfortable feel that actually this is small enough group for me, I can step up and express what I think and what I want to say. So that can be really good. And sometimes a form of free writing, writing down everything that comes to our mind, can also be very helpful, because we end up having lots of great unexpected ideas and thoughts. So that could be another way to go about it. Now, there might be times, very often in fact, when the participants just don't feel confident enough. And it could be masked in numerous ways. It could be that you just know that the participants don't feel confident. It might feel that they don't want to engage. It might feel that maybe session is not working. So the way to avoid it ahead of the time is actually running icebreakers. And icebreakers are fantastic because they do exactly what it says. They break the ice. And I find that once we've had a little bit of laugh, some kind of game, it just sets us all on equal ground. And we feel like, actually, this could be fun. We could write something together. This will work. And then if we find that actually the icebreaker has broken down just a little bit, we could just chat away. Because if we can set a nice environment by chatting with each other, finding out new things about each other, it will help the participants to gel with each other, but also it will give us, the music leaders, a better understanding of what are the ideas and thoughts and subject matters that the participants are interested in. So that can be very helpful. An interesting thing, very often we actually need to say, oh, by the way, you're the boss. So by that I mean it's important to let the participant know that the choices and ideas are in their hands. As music leaders, we only facilitate. And really, the idea is that the young people and the participants can lead their ideas and form their own opinions and then express themselves. So that's a very good point, and it's quite important to make that clear. Similarly, another point is what is wrong and what is right. Very often in songwriting, there is no wrong or right. There is no right answer. So it's again about that moment. Oh, okay. So I like that, you don't like it, but it's fine because we have our separate opinions. So that helps us to generate more respect for each other, understanding that we can all remain friends even if we think differently. So all these things, it might be just writing lyrics, but it will help building the confidence, the social and emotional development. It all leads to generally more confident and better versed human beings. So it is really good. So it's definitely worth mentioning those things. I just feel that one of the main things is that we need to build the bridges and little connections with participants, and then Even if it takes a little longer, once we have that connection, the lyrics will almost write themselves. So it's best to spend more time on creating the relationship than trying really hard when there is no connection. So it's best to create the connection, in my opinion. Now, there might be times when we approach sensitive topics, and that can be difficult because depending on different character types, some people might be very keen to talk about sensitive topics, and some people want to be withdrawn from that. So in the group situation, we might need to facilitate and navigate really the direction to be more universal, so that the lyrics express something that we all feel and think. Now, if no kind of compromise can be reached, we could maybe have a middle eight or spoken word part where a certain individual could express their specific opinion that they really feel would benefit the song. So there's always ways around it. When it comes to sensitive topics in one-to-one sessions, we need to be, of course, aware that we can facilitate more self-expression maybe in one-to-one session if there is a sensitive topic, but we also need to be aware of all the disclosure rules and regulations on what we do in certain times. But it might often be very beneficial for somebody to go over all the trauma and express it in music and then put it away. So it just depends on each participant and each situation, but we need to be aware of how to facilitate, how to remain kind and understanding, and also how to protect the participant and the music leader in the case of disclosure. To summarize on sensitive topics, I would think we just need to use our own emotional intelligence and common sense, because at the session we're there to facilitate, inspire, empower, but also we need to navigate. So we navigate the session in positive direction, because that is really what we all want. We want the participants to have a good experience, and we want to bring joy. That really is one of the key things that this is all about. So when we think about working within mental health sector, there are several things I find are particularly important. One of them is being aware. So there are some throwaway comments that are often used in society. However, knowing that still at this day and age the mental health has a stigma around it, we need to be aware that saying things like "this is crazy" or "I think I'm going mad" or "that's mad," all those sayings have a negative side to them. And really the whole aim of working within mental health sector is to help people understand that it's okay to not feel 100% sometimes. Our body can hurt, our mind can hurt, and it's about finding that balance and sometimes giving that reassurance that it's okay that you don't feel okay today is very, very empowering and needed. So we need to be aware not to use words that could put a negative slant on mental health. Also, we need to be aware that each session might be different. So this is not a school environment where we follow a certain plan. There are so many additional difficulties and things that people go through, particularly when working in mental health sector. So we need to be aware that one day we might have a whole song written, and another day we might only write 2 lines or create a little melody, and either is fine, because again it's about the experience and about self-discovery rather than always creating something from the end to finish, which is quite important. So it's not always driven in the results sense as we see it maybe in educational sector. It's more about the result that's personal for each person. So creating 2 lines of a song and a bit of melody and actually saying, you know what, this is how I feel, is far more important than writing a whole song. And we need to be aware of it and understand that sometimes the same person that was enthusiastic last week might not want to do anything this week. And that also is fine. That is fine. Should there ever be subject matters that we should not talk or write about, we will be informed. So there will be either notes or a healthcare professional will let us know. So in that case, it would be good to avoid that subject completely. And to summarize, I think I think in any songwriting session we need to go in with an open mind and open heart, do our absolute best and see ahead, be flexible, try and facilitate to make sure that the participants have the most wonderful time. We are there to help them experience writing songs, expressing themselves, formulating their own opinions, and never judging. So I think that is a wonderful role to take on, and I wish us all great songwriting sessions. Thank you.